Noticing if you can allow the breath to become even deeper now. So if the breath was just filling the chest, allowing it to go down to the deeper, lower lobes of the lungs. As we continue to breathe, noticing what is the intention for today's practice? What is your intention? Is it to feel calmer, to detox, to process, to understand, to focus, to rest in this community of people, the Sangha in Buddhism? And as we shift away from this intention, taking in account the entire body, how is the spine? Do you feel that you are forcing your spine to be held up, fighting gravity, or that your abdomen is engaged and tightened? And just letting that go if you're able to. Allowing the spine, the very tip top, to gently rise like that of a balloon, eagerly aiming for the sky, and the tailbone becoming heavy, sinking deeper and deeper into the ground like that of an anchor. And if you were lying down, then possibly the entire body becoming heavier, deeper, sinking into the carpet or into the hardwood floors or mat. And once again, as if feeling this for the first time, rediscovering the breath, reacquiring the breath, and noticing that throughout this vast, very massive body that is as still as possible in this moment, barely moving, there is the trickle in and out of the breath. There is the rise of the inhale and the fall of the exhale. And this body moves very slightly, very subtly. There is a movement involved in the breath in this body. And where this movement happens is different for everyone. Where do you feel your body moving in response to the breath? Is it in the nose, in the throat? Do you feel your chest rising and falling? Or is it more obvious, more lively in your abdomen? Or maybe in your back, maybe in your ribs? But for the next few moments of this meditation, I'm going to ask that you choose a spot on the breath to focus on, a place that you find steady, but also a place that is easily influenced by the breath that you can easily call home for the next few minutes or so. For me, I'm choosing my lower abdomen. And just for a moment, get acquainted with this part of your body, holding this part of you, this section of the body, as if you were holding a small baby or child, as if you were holding a feather in the rain, keeping it safe from getting wet. Holding this part of you with full care and full attention. And while letting this be our anchor point, letting that noting that we were speaking of earlier to come into play. So, moment by moment, breath by breath, second by second, monitoring and living in this anchor spot that we've chosen and discovering if any thoughts, distractions, or other sensations come about in our mental, physical, or emotional world or memory. And once we see it arise, about to arise, we realize that it has swept us away, completely away from our anchor point. Simply repeating whatever this is as a mantra, and then gently returning back to the body where we chosen. As an example, I'm going to speak aloud whenever I get distracted and note it aloud and then draw my attention back to the breath in the anchor point. So do this on your own time and just notice whatever I happen to note along the way. Siren, siren. Tension, 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 tension. Positive self talk, self talk, self talk. And so, with whatever arises in your own experience, there's no right or wrong way to note it. Just noting whatever it is for you that arises and slightly distracts you from the breath, from this point in your body. And then, as if rocking your attention with these words, said either silently or aloud, rocking the attention back to your anchor point, to your point of focus. See what happens. And if you find that your noting voice is too quiet and that it gets swept away by your thoughts or by whatever's distracting you, I do encourage you to experiment with saying it out loud. Cool air, cool air. Memory, memory. Whatever's happening, giving it a voice, allowing it to be acknowledged so that you can allow the attention to go back to the body, back to your anchor point. You might also experiment with having the eyes open. Let this time be for you. Let this meditation work for you. Where is your anchor point? What is its name? Immediately as you think of it, your attention is sent back to this place. Continue. And if you find that you are completely swept away by a thought and you can't even begin to imagine what it was, maybe just saying returning, returning, or breath, breath. And now we're going to take it a step further. And whenever the mind gets taken one place or another, or 12 different places, what we would usually note, we will say it and then peel back and see if there's any other layer or layers underneath that. So, for example, one thing that I had to note earlier was a song by Mac Miller that I've been playing in my mind. So I would say the title, Inertia. Hmm. Behind that, I have a certain enjoyment from listening to that. So joy. And then if I try to look deeper, I cherish joy. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's all you need to note. But for the next few minutes, whatever you end up noting, whatever thought or emotion or whatever disturbance comes along, just taking a brief moment to see if there's anything beneath that, if there's any particular reason or place that comes from, and then continuing on with the anchor point that we've chosen. Also, feel free to change your anchor point if you feel that the other one is no longer serving you. That is also appropriate. Again, I will use an example. So continue in your own way, but just listen for whatever I happen to note. Cantaloupe, cantaloupe, sweet, savory, a joyous childhood memory. I return to the breath. And if you find that you're having a tough time, we're not trying to fabricate anything. We're also not trying to overanalyze or get overwashed by the thoughts. Just holding our thoughts and our attention, almost holding the thought's hand if possible, and just seeing where it goes, see where it came from. Surfboard, surfboard. Charlie Winnall, Charlie Winnall. Friendship, high value friendship. Easeful breath, easeful breath. I love the way that meditation makes me feel. And the things that you note can be one word, a full sentence. Just noting as much needs to be noted, and every time after returning back to your anchor point. Mac Miller, Inertia. I've been playing this song a lot lately. I love art. I love music. Music is important to me. Ryan, an old friend. I wish for his well being. Letting that last thought go, releasing this anchor point, opening your eyes in your own time, coming to the end of this meditation. Possibly stretching, taking in a deep breath, sighing out. and kindly coming back to the computer or phone or tablet to tell Uncle Kanan how that was for you.
Hello, Uncon. That was fine.
That was good for you, Laura?
It was a little bit difficult to concentrate because my little kitty was here and I think he had difficulty breathing. So I was a little concerned. But yeah, considering that I haven't been here in a while with all this, there wasn't any meditation last week and whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, but thank you. Yeah, it was very good. Relaxing. That's good.
Glad, yes, and that should be the last cancel I'll have to do in the while, and I apologize again for that. We should be
Oh,
on
thank you
track
so
for that one.
Thank you very much. Where is the address that I have to go in? Because I don't know how to get in your meditations.
Right. So if you go to I'll put in the thing. Um, if you go to Harry's website,
Huh?
isend.me/webinar. Oh, that's private. Let me put this in public. Um, I isend.me/webinar. I send hire people. If you go to that address, then you should see Mind Right listed under there, and it should be the 1 p.m. time on Saturday. You should be able to get it from there. For everybody that's unplugged, if you're in staying fit, mind and body. I'm gonna say staying right. I'm like, no, that's not it. I'll put the link in there as well. If you want to get to that, or if not already in the group.
Thank you
Um,
very much.
yes, ma'am. Anyone else? Anyone else want to say how that was? I know that was a little different.
I enjoy just acknowledging the distractions that may come across. I think first timers who've never meditated before, you think you have to be like this great monk that can be undistracted and not defeated by any sound, you know. So it's great to know to welcome those things and just bring yourself back, to constantly bring yourself back to the purpose, which is really to clear your mind, relax yourself. So as you have those thoughts in passing, that can really help. And then also having pleasant thoughts of a time, you know, if you're really anxious and stressed out, if you go back and think about those pleasant childhood memories or pleasant thoughts, I think it can also relax you and ground you in a way. So I really enjoyed that experience.
Yeah, thanks, mom. Anyone else?
It was very good. I really enjoyed it. It was definitely relaxing, very, very relaxing, which is very good. It definitely, I feel like, helped me to focus, but to go with the flow, not try to be so, tense or try to,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just stay with that. But it was very good. Thank you.
I mean, I'm glad. I was honestly sort of shaky because it's not very often in meditation that we like take our thoughts for a walk, is the best way I can explain it. We're seeing where our thoughts have come from, engaging with the thoughts that we have or engaging with the experiences, memories, or sensations that we have, knowing that they are part of us, that they're not something that we have to fight or that we have to ignore, and what I found is that just in this meditation, this is why I brought it to you, is like, for example, when I was having a Mac Miller song just playing over and over again, because I like it and I've been listening to it for the past few days. As soon as I noticed it, I was like, oh, I did this because I enjoy music. Music is very important to me. As soon as I answered the question of my thought, the song went away. And I was just back in silence, and I was back my anchor point that I chose. And what you might find by doing this, by consciously engaging with thoughts or whatever comes up, is that as soon as you notice it, it's like it vanished. Its power over you, or its potency vanishes. Unless it's a pleasant thought and you want to raise those positive feelings, then you can, put more power into it. But really, the superpower that that meditation gives you, especially this one, is choosing the types of thoughts that you want to have. And if you do this as a regular practice, and if you want, you can talk about doing like private sessions or whatever, just to see what that feels like. But if you put this as a regular practice, either this meditation or probably some of the other meditations I've suggested as well, you will find that that sort of shift happens from being a constant slave to your thoughts to, being able to sit on the sidelines and sort of watch them unfold, going with the flow, like Lynn said. And we had, let me read the comments. Fatima says, absolutely love this. I started thinking about my ex and realized the reason behind it was I still wanted his validation. Yes, thank you for taking that thought for a walk. That is a good one. And that's fair. And really I think I'm guilty of needing to try to go into that and super investigate it and see what else is there. But the simple fact of you being able to see that, like, I'm sure that before this meditation, you weren't super aware of that. And now that you are, you get to sit down and choose how you work beyond that, as opposed to being, a slave to that or blindly reacting to it, not even knowing that that's the inner cause of your suffering or your problems. So, I mean, just claps. I'm glad that you found that today. It put less pressure. Justin says it put less pressure on me focusing, kind of like Andrea mentioned. Super nice. Yes. It's kind of funny. It's nice because in this meditation, your anchor point is not necessarily the main character. It's not necessarily the star of the show. It's something that you can choose to hold on to, like an anchor. It's something that's there for you to bring you back to this body, back to this moment. And then when you sort of float away from the anchor, you get to come back to it. So yeah, it's a style of meditation that I definitely think is helpful for people. Monica says, easy to relax into it, but the thoughts did get really, real fast. The thoughts did get really fast. Can you explain more about that? Do you mean me like noting my thoughts, or your own thoughts started to sort of speed up? It was hard to keep up with. Feel free to unmute yourself if you like. Did I mute everybody? I hope not. Yeah, you can either put it in the comments or talk. Fatima said, yes, I had no awareness. Exactly. They got serious quickly. Yes, that's what happens when you see what's there. It's such a simple, powerful thing to literally just see what's happening in the body, what's happening in the mind, because oftentimes we're going from this shift to that shift, or working this amount of hours, or off partying all the time, whatever your lifestyle looks like. We're always busy. We're always busy doing things. And then when we make the conscious decision to just sit and see what unfolds, sometimes we're surprised. Sometimes we're like, that's exactly what I thought was happening there. When I was working yesterday at my job, on my lunch break, I tried to meditate, and I had very minimal sleep. I kept falling asleep while I was meditating, like 4 minutes into it, just nodding off. It was horrible. And I took a nap in my car, and I was like, thank you, meditation, for telling me that I am tired. And I wanted to go home. I mean, come home and party a little bit some more, or like, talk to friends or unwind. But like, I just hit the bed. My mom can tell you. I went to bed at 9, woke up like 11 hours later because my body needed it. Okay. And health problems, mental health problems, all this other stuff arises when we fail to pay attention to what's happening. We think it's not important until it just builds up and builds up and builds up, and then it kind of bleeps over. Like it's fun. It's a fun it's kind of like a game to me, until something serious happens, or we have emotional problems, or something seriously physically inducing happens, like a panic attack or a mental breakdown or something like that. It's fun until it's not fun. So try to help yourself out by meditating regularly, coming to this weekly thing at least. starting private sessions with me if you want, or going to meditation apps if you want to do it that way. But I'm gonna just really quick, does anybody who is, before I put it, just saving my fingers time, does anybody who is in Plunk not have the link to this, or does not have the link to Staying Fit Mind and Body? Does anyone who's from Plunk not have that? Because I can give it to you, but I think everybody here is in that group.
Yes,
Just
I think they're in that.
say it. What'd you say?
I think all of them are in the group. Not too sure though.
Yeah. If you're not speaking out forever, hold your peace. This is also my email. If you would like to ask me any specific questions about this meditation or other meditations, this is my Instagram if you would like to follow me. And lastly, this is a donation-based class. You do not have to pay me if you do not want to. But if you do feel like this was a helpful meditation and you would just like to support me in any way, that is my Cash App. Yeah, I think it is. And this is my Venmo. Okay, cool. Other than that, do we have any questions or anything you want to say? Tell me what you had for breakfast. What would you?
I did have a thought about the meditation. I realized that most of it was like sensory oriented. Okay, so I have this cup of coffee, right? And it's a really good cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And like right after, I was sipping it while you were talking in the beginning, and as soon as I started to meditate, I'm like, damn, I want more coffee. It's gonna be cold. And like that was my primary worry. And then the other thing is I had like an itch right here. And there's a fan above me. And it's just slightly blowing the breeze, so it irritates it more and more. I was like, oh. And then when and I was trying to resist it, but then when you took it to the next phase of, hey everybody, like try to walk backwards into these things. I'm like, well, it's an itch, it itches. But then I was like, hold on, wait a minute. I was like, the only reason it bothers me is because I don't have control or like mental discipline. And that was the root of it.
I run away from discomfort.
Yes, exactly. So it was about it was about that exactly. And so that was really helpful. And once I realized that, I was like, forget about this itch. You know what I mean? And forget about
for me, whenever I thought about cantaloupe, I was like, where the hell did cantaloupe come from?
That made me laugh almost.
Thinking about cantaloupe and followed that. I was like, oh, I guess I'm just having a great day. Like, I never had a bad day with cantaloupe, you know? So I recorded this meditation. I'm going to try to upload it. My username on YouTube is just Kanan Bracey, so you can find me that way. I'm going to upload this today for sure. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Same time and everything. Look out for posts and updates on Plunk and my email list. Just look out for emails on that. If you are not already on my email list, just send it in the chat and I can add you. I just do a weekly check-in just so you know what's going on. I put the link in for this too. So all that would be in there as well. But without further ado, leave if you want. I'll be chilling. I'll be here.
Sounds good. Thanks, Kanan.
Bye. Bye, Wen.
Sorry. Thanks again.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Kanan, were you saying something about Pinkett or something, like being a member or something? I didn't understand.
About being a what?
That if we're members.
Of joining my mailing list?
I don't know. You said something with a P, Pinkett or
Plunk.
I don't know.
Plunk. Yeah.
Oh, Plunk.
Yeah. So some of these people aren't from Ascend Higher. They're actually from an app called Plunk. And John Kavanaugh, who was the guy with his face who was showing, he is the creator of the app. It's an app for students that are in like in college or whatever. He's working with like Ohio State University, University of Cincinnati, just different colleges. but we're basically merging the Ascend Higher group and this group. I mean, and Plunk are just coming together. So that's what that is.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
But we don't have to belong to that thing.
No, you don't have to.
Okay. Well,
Mm-hmm.
thank you so very much.
Yes, ma'am. I will add you, Jen, to the mailing list as well. I'll check in to see if you're already on it because I want to double book you. Okay. Yeah, let me go ahead and copy and paste that. And you're both welcome to stay. I have to head out now. Let me just get this email in. All right. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.